Hey, it's Tia, and today we're going to be talking about telling a good story. So you may notice my background's a little bit different, and that's because I'm here in Dubai with my family for a little bit. I'm just staying at home getting some good family time during the pandemic. I think it's always nice to be with people you love and with family when you just don't know where everything's going. So I'm here for the next little bit until I decide to go back, I guess. So, telling a good story in any video. I feel like it follows 5 basic principles. You can mix it up, mash it, whichever way you feel is best for you. But in my opinion, these are the 5 key things and key takeaways in making sure your video tells a really good story. Let's get started. Number 1, have an idea. And I know this sounds simple, but it's really important because you need to start somewhere. I find this one can sometimes be the most difficult thing. Finding an idea that's unique, original, something that, people actually connect with. Originality is difficult to come up with in a world of over 7 billion people where everybody's thinking. Somebody's gonna have a similar idea. But the question is, are you gonna do it first? And if you're not gonna do it first, what makes your idea special and what makes it unique? Now trust me, I know this can sound daunting, and I for one am just terrible at this because I'm very overcritical of myself and my ideas, and I kind of just push them away because I'm like, someone's already done it or someone's gonna do it. Just start somewhere. Even if your idea is something like man goes to store, you can start and create a story based on the encounters that he has going to that store. And sometimes the most simple ideas are the best ones, so stick with your gut. Number 2, have a message you want to convey. It's one thing to have an idea, but it's another thing to actually create meaning with that idea. You may have the man going to the store, but you don't want to just be watching someone's mundane reality. Any video you're going to create, you need to have some type of message. If it's a documentary, what is the message you're trying to create? I think the better way to think of it actually is, what is your end goal? Where do you want your video to end up? If you know your story or your film or even your commercial or video has an end point and has a goal to it, creating the process to that goal is far more easier because you know where you're going. You're not just driving on a road and getting completely lost along the way. What do you want your audience to feel? And what do you want people who are viewing your film to take away from it? Number 3, create an atmosphere. If there is no B-roll or music creating that ambiance, creating those emotional feelings in your viewer, then the impact of your message is not going to have as much of a punch as it should. It's about having external footage. It's about having little clips of the details in the scene. So, okay, let's use the guy going to the store again. Let's say you can see someone picking up grocery bags. You can see the little details of the atmosphere around, the trees rustling. You can see as the wind picks up a couple leaves on the floor. You can see the type of day it is, the details of someone's hand. All of those things are so key in building that atmosphere. And to add to that, having stems of music is equally important. Music adds so much movement to your scene, to your film. And it's not just music, actually, it's sound effects. Find those sound effects, find the rustling of the leaves. Find the breeze and the wind that's in the background and super subtle, rushing against the camera. These are all things that add to such a beautiful emotional moment, and they're so subtle, but they bring to life your video or your film so much more. Even when it comes to listening to like those epic B-roll commercials, do you actually listen to the sound engineering that goes into it? When you see the camera pan from one side to the other and all of a sudden it's a different scene. If you listen carefully, there's almost always a whoosh noise, like the ice falling into a drink or water being poured into a glass. Those are all actually added in post, but add so much life to the actual scene. Making a storyboard and a shot list. As I said in the beginning, you should always know where your film ends up. If you know that, you can almost work backwards and figure out what happens in the climax of it and what happens in the beginning. So it's always nice to have a basic outline and idea of where your film's going. I'm gonna do another video on how to create a proper shot list and storyboard in detail, just so there's a better understanding of the planning that goes behind filming. So if you'd like to see that, just mention that in the comments or give this video a thumbs up so I know and I can start on that. Just a brief about a shot list, just so you have a good idea on where to go with it. A shot list is basically writing down in a chronological order exactly what shot you want to take when. This is super helpful in any commercial, any film, any video you're gonna do, because it requires you to basically know the mise-en-scene, which is everything that's within the frame and that belongs in the frame. That's knowing every single prop you're working with, the location you're working with, the people you're working with. When you know that, you can put that all in your mental image and kind of figure out how you want the story to look. So when we're looking at the shot list, it's kind of just pretty basic. Let's say shot 1, you want an establishing shot of the scene. Shot 2, you want a close-up of character number 1. Then shot 4, let's say you want a detail of character 1 holding like a glass or something, and so on it goes. But you have a really good idea of when you get on set, these are the things I need to film. And that doesn't mean you can't go against your shot list. By all means, if something amazing comes up, take a video of it or keep it going. But you need to have a basic idea of what you're filming, because the worst thing you can do is show up on set completely unprepared. Number 5, be receptive to change. Now, I believe this one can be the most difficult one when it comes to telling a good story. It may make sense in your mind. Everything may flow beautifully in your mind. But if you can't convey that message to a third-party audience, then really your film doesn't have much meaning. So the best thing you can possibly do before you start filming, before you start editing, any of that, is run your idea by someone else. If you're explaining this message to them and you're explaining what you're trying to achieve and the kind of vibe you're going for in your film, then it's great to see if someone understands what you're saying. Also, it's helpful to know if maybe you're not doing something right, maybe you missed something, maybe something just doesn't fit quite well in this idea. And someone might be able to provide you a great opinion on how to fix that or how to add on to your idea. So be receptive to that change. Don't stick according to your plan exactly, because if you're too rigid in it, no one can actually give you more ideas and grow your idea further. Well, I hope this video helped you, and just let me know in the comments if you have any questions about filmmaking, videography, editing, the works. Just let me know, and I guess I'll see you in the next video. Bye. It's so, I already said important. What are adjectives for important? But it's so equally key. No, that sounds so weird. Clip together, together. Well, I hope this video helped you, and just, why did I do this? What's on my head?